Y'all see recording?
Yeah.
All right. So, hello and welcome everybody to the Passionate Power Couples Summit, where you're going to get some real life tips and tools on how to have an extraordinary, happy, and long lasting marriage. I'm your host, Latoya J.R. Borders, and today I'm interviewing two amazing people who are slamming it right now, not just as a couple, but as a power couple. Miss Nicole and Mr. Richard, how are you today?
You're wonderful. How are
Thank
you?
you for asking.
I am great. I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited about interviewing you guys today.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
So we're going to go right in. I'm going to be looking down because I want to make sure I get the perfect questions for everybody out there. I know that they all want to know. So first, I want to start by you telling everybody who you are and what it is that you do.
Well, I am Nicole and he is Richard. We are the Lawrences of Young Black and Married. And initially it started off as a blog on Facebook.
Kind of just a personal blog sharing random personal experiences about us being married, how we thought people felt about what Young Black and Married meant. A lot at the time, our friends, the people that we were surrounded with, all kind of emphasized that nobody they knew that looked like us, that was our age, was getting married. And we were like, well, what about us? And we knew we couldn't be the only couple out there that was getting married. So we just wanted to highlight that there were a lot of other young Black and married couples out there.
Yes.
I love it. I love it because you guys opened up a whole nother world for me in particular. I only had a couple of friends, but my friends were all married and young too. But everybody was like, young Black people don't get married. I'm like, all my friends married. And we all young. I think I'm still young.
Right.
So the first question, and I feel like it's going to lead into every other question into this interview, is what area is paramount to staying connected mentally, spiritually, physically, or emotionally? What is the one area you're like, we have to stay connected in this area?
Only one. I would say that they're all vital, obviously.
Always.
But I know for us personally in our marriage, I would say it's mentally.
I would say personally, me, communication, which is all kind of leads to the same thing.
Right.
Mentally, like for me, I know that if we can agree, if we can form an agreement on pick anything, from which bill to pay to when do we need to go see a doctor and when do we just anything from the big things to the little things. If we can have a conversation about it, if we can talk about it without arguing, or maybe even with arguing, but we come to an agreement that we can both live with.
Right.
I think that's the main thing for the two of us.
Yeah.
Communication. I agree with that. I thought that it was going to be spiritually for me and my husband, but communication was like the main thing. I know, we still have our relationship with God and that's like paramount to us too, but that communication piece is like some next level stuff. So the next question is, how do you keep a great connection with your spouse or reconnect if you've lost it?
A great connection, I would say, is talking. Number one, always talking. It doesn't matter what's going on around you, what happened in your day. You need to be conversing with your spouse from the most major of things to the most minute of things. So that to me is how you stay connected, and just making sure that as the two of you mature and go through that maturation process individually and in your marriage, that you're still liking each other and on one accord, because the love is always going to be there. It may go up and down, but that liking each other is it's vital. It's so important to staying married.
I agree with Nicole. I think that we always emphasize that we do not always like one another. We go through our spat. Like, we never want couples to perceive to be perfect. We're far from it. But we make it a big emphasis for our relationship. This is 7 years as of a couple of days ago.
Congrats.
We just always make it a point to not lose ourselves, like not lose our friendship. Our friendship really is the crutch of our relationship between the two of us. And I'm going to always love my best friend. But I do not always like her. And sometimes I have to remind myself why it is exactly that I like her. Like, I know I love her. That's not a question.
Right.
Sometimes I gotta remind myself,
Some
but I
days.
actually like her. Like, there are some days where, it's like she's getting on my nerves, but it's like, but I love the way that her hair is done. It could be the
Or not
smallest stuff
done.
or not done. Yeah, it can be the smallest of things, but it matters, and it really does in our marriage for us. As long as I can fall asleep knowing that that's my best friend, I do like her no matter how annoying she is, because she always love. That matters to me. It really does.
I love that you say like your friendship is your foundation that you go back to. That's your core. Because a lot of people, they lose that friendship. They just become partners, or
Right.
like we roommates. That friendship is so, so important. So I love that you touched on that. And so the one question that everybody always wants to know, why is sex and intimacy so important in a happy marriage?
I think it's important because, especially from the male perspective, a lot of times from men, I know we take sex and love. It's although we may know it's not the same thing. Try telling that to a man, and I don't mean to downplay men and our emotions or whatever. This is the reality. Many of us tie sexual intimacy and emotional intimacy. Like I tell my wife all the time, sometimes I need that physical intimacy before my emotional intimacy comes up. Whereas for a woman, it's usually the opposite. It's usually the same thing, but in the flip flop. So we both want the same thing. It's like, what comes first? Do we connect emotionally first? Which I know she wants, but sometimes I don't want to connect them. Can we connect emotionally? Like, can we cuddle afterwards? That kind of stuff. So I mean, I do think it's very important. I think couples have to find a balance of satisfying both partners. And a spontaneous kind of, my desires fit here and yours there. How do we mesh these together and get it to work? What do you think?
I agree. I think, and also for women, from a woman's perspective, we have to stay mindful that sex is a need. It is a need, not just for a man, but for a woman as well. But for a woman, I think, especially for me, I will say, having MS and just sometimes not being all the way in it, you have to kind of treat it like, and I know he hates when I say this, like a job or like an assignment. Sometimes you're not going to want to do it, but because he needs it and your relationship needs it, sometimes you just have to say, okay, let me take this hour. I know I'm tired, but let's just take this 30 minutes, this hour, however long it's going to take, and let's just get the job done. Because it matters. It matters to the way your husband treats you.
I think that sex intimacy is very important. As a woman, I know sometimes, we get in that place where our libido is just like non-existent, or for us, we try to tell them all the time. Sex for me is all emotion. When I'm mad at you, like when you see those, like, we're gonna make a sex. That's like, what's that? Like, I don't like you right now. So for me, I have to sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I have to treat sex like a job and just say, okay, Nicole, your husband is there too. He needs sex. I may not necessarily yay or go whole about it, but I have to, get myself in that mental space so that I can make sure that we are physically connected. So that I can make sure he's a met and he's happy. And when he's happy, they say happy wife, happy life, but really, the most happy. It's beautiful. When he's not, I'm ready to kick him out. So for me, sometimes
really,
yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love that you're being real about it, because a lot of people like to sugarcoat it like it's all easy. Me and my husband, we 10 years in. And we got 2 kids and work and business. It's a lot. And women, we always in our heads about something. So sometimes we got to just bring it down, take a deep breath, like, you know what, I'm gonna do this because I love you.
I think for men, sometimes we have to take into respect that our wives. It's not an on off button. It's not. I look at, hey, let's do it, and then she's like, okay. The movies lead you to be.
The movies be messing with your head.
That's why they movies, so they not real.
You get the thing. Okay, I'm looking at my wife and she looks beautiful right now.
Aww.
Baby, let's go. But she's looking at me like, no, I gotta do some things. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta take a shower. It's gonna be 2 hours before I can even think about possibly. And then after that, I'm gonna want to go to sleep. So I mean, it's just. But
I love y'all. I love that. That is so real. That is happening in everybody's household. I love that. So the next question is,
I think we always do romanticize it.
romanticizing. Yeah, I like a little romance. It's not all the time. A little lead into, because I just feel like it's real close to my heart. I feel like everybody gave us advice before we even got married. As soon as we got engaged, they like, don't do this, don't do that, make sure you communicate, but they weren't telling us how to communicate, don't have kids soon. Everybody was giving us all this unsolicited advice. And it really stopped us like, man, is marriage not fun or something? Because everybody making it seem like it's a struggle. And so it kind of just, gave us some extra hurdles to go over that I felt we didn't even have to, had we just shut it down and just been in our bubble. So the question is, what is the number one thing stopping couples from having a happy and extraordinary marriage? What's the one thing you think it is?
For me personally, I believe that people have unrealistic expectations of marriage. And so, like what you said about the movie, it romanticizes things. And marriage is beautiful, but it is indeed work. And I think it's a marriage saying, well, my mom and dad always operated their marriage like this, or my friends are married and this is how this, then you're doomed and you're destined for disaster, because every marriage is its own individual entity. And it should not rank based on somebody else's, the functionality of their marriage. And so to me, I think people go into marriage expecting all of a sudden this person who you've been dating and courting to now be my wife to become this perfect individual who knows what to do and what not to do. And so I think that you put those notions in your mind that your man is supposed to act like this now because he's your husband all of a sudden, you create your own, controversy within your marriage unnecessarily. And you back to the marriage.
I think too many opinions can truly be the death of a marriage, especially if you get too early on in the year. We had the same kind of thing that you were talking about in the meeting. We had so many telling us, this is what you need to do, this is what Richard needs to do, this is what a husband should do and a wife should do. And we kind of like, I'm looking at my wife like she doesn't even value what you just told me I need to do. That's not enough. I understand it to be very important to your wife, to you, but it's not to her. And so if it's not to figure out what's important to her, what's the key value. And it took a year or two for us to really realize, what do we value? Not what everybody says, not what the Cosby show said we should value. What do we value individual space? We share very little to nothing. We have different bathrooms. We have different places. Like we're basically brother and sister, but we're not. We love our husband and wife. We share nothing, but that's our home. And
works for y'all.
It becomes so normal for us that we don't even think about it, how it would look to somebody else.
Oh, thank God.
And that's something I really did not. As a husband, I did not really look at marriage like that. I thought you take the advice from the older couples, and you do. That worked well. But you have to take, like you said, mediocrity. Everything, little from little things in perspective. No matter how much they have, every couple's going to be a little different.
A little different. I definitely agree. And like you said, it's your unique. It's how you run your household. That I didn't know that, and neither did my husband, and it caused so many problems. But after we figured out, hey, you don't even care if I do that. I'm like, I don't. Please stop doing it. Oh, then I could just be the man that you want me to be, and you could be the woman that I want you to be. Perfect. it was like a year or two. It's like the magic number must be that we figured out that it's okay to be our individual selves within our marriage and how important that was.
I think
So go ahead.
I just think for because like you said, a year or two for you, a year or two for us. I
Mm-hmm.
think couples go into marriage, we like trap ourselves into believing that from day one.
Mm-hmm. So I really got to lead into this question because I feel like it's like one of the most important things to me and my husband and our family. And I didn't know about it for a few years. And when we finally figured out to have a great marriage for us, we had to create like a vision for our marriage. And it just wasn't his or mine, it was ours collectively. And it kind of like blossomed from there into this really great family vision. And so I want to ask you guys, do you think you need to create a vision to have a unique and long lasting marriage?
Yeah. And no, I wouldn't have if you had asked me that question 6 or 7 years ago, I wouldn't have even thought about it. Being firmly into our marriage, I say yes. We are constantly talking about the future, what the future holds, the steps we want to take to get there, how exactly we know about it. Because we used to have a lot of dreams in the early days, but we never took the steps to plan things out. When you
Mm-hmm.
don't take those steps to plan things out, you wonder why your dreams don't come true, and you looking at it like maybe it's our mistake. Maybe we didn't really put this stuff seriously in front of us. We
Mm-hmm.
just but we never really took a plan of action. And that vision board, my wife is that person. I'm not the kind of person that talks things out and tries to plan.
Mm-hmm.
That is a failure of my character. I know that to be that.
Okay.
So I stop and listen to her when she said write things down. Speak good words, positive words, and
Mm.
affirmations. That from everything from young black and married to our personal married life, we really had to take it step by step, and that was not how I envisioned marriage being. But I've
Mm.
learned it in playing.
I agree too. I think even young black and married is a testament to the planning process and having an overall vision for your marriage and where you intend to go, where you want to
Mm.
go,
Yes.
where you need to go. Young black and married was something he initiated. I knew nothing of it. But once I saw his vision, I was like, okay, I'm on board. I don't have anything that I'm like so adamantly pressed about doing right now. I'm kind of like with what I want to do in my life. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, smaller. And once we realized that it was very helpful to a lot of people, it was also ministering as empowerment. So young black and married is kind of like interwoven within our marriage
Mm.
because
Yes.
we do that which we're not living. So it kind of keeps us in check. Okay, you put when you say it, now don't be acting crazy now. So we kind of have to live up to exactly what we're saying. We don't want to be hypocrites. So I definitely think that a married couple, you don't want to just have your individual goals and your individual visions. You don't want to let them go. But you definitely need to say, okay, this is a unit. We need to work as a unit. It won't,
Mm.
or unit without the separate widgets doing what they're supposed to do. But they all have to work, at the same time, right? And you never know what the destination is, what time we plan to be there. So that just in case, we have to venture. I'm so I definitely think that you have to have that vision for your marriage, for any relationship, but definitely for your marriage, because most people want to bring kids into this world, and it's like, how you gonna tell them where to go, And so, no, we have thought about kids, but
No, what you're saying is though. Like, how can you display knowing what you want to do in life when you really don't know, when you're really kind of winging it to yourself? Of course, you don't want kids to think that we're not parents, but we have them, and our parents knew what they wanted for their own marriages, and we benefited from them knowing. So
Mm.
I would never want a child in a position where they come into a world of turmoil because I didn't take the time to step back, plan things out before putting a situation that is everything to me, everything. Right. So I want to take that time.
I like that. I love that. Me and my husband knew right away that we wanted kids. Like it's time right now. Everybody said, wait. We like, nah, we want kids. Get about our business. and after we had kids, I was like, okay, I get it. Because we already kind of knew what we wanted, and other people didn't. They didn't understand our vision for our marriage or our vision for our life. That's why they were telling us don't do it. But I'm like, no, I know exactly what I need. I need God first. I need to have a self-love first. Me and my husband need to be on point and loving each other. And I have so much fullness in my life, from spirit to self to husband, that I'm overflowing for my children. And so I can see how somebody, if I'm not ready yet and you don't have that yet, that fullness, don't do it. Wait, because your kids deserve that. Okay. So I know you guys have a gift that you want to give the audience. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
We wrote a book. I wrote a book, and Nicole helped me off. Thank her.
Love it. Teamwork.
Yes. We wanted to detail how we met and our stages through the beginning of our relationship, leading up to the altar. So our, marrying into the altar, the ceremony. We were an internet couple. And when we first got married, we didn't want anybody to know we were in it. It was 2008. Facebook had not the way it is now. Like today, say nothing if you're an internet couple. Around 2008, you were still getting those side eyes. Like you can find somebody in your personal life. You had to go looking on the internet to find somebody. So we stigma from that, and then just a regular problem that every couple goes through, no matter how they met. And so that, and then Nicole adds her perspective from the woman.
I love it. That is an amazing gift. That's an amazing gift. And when you guys are done watching this video, the link is going to be right below. I want you guys to get it and add it to your collection of something that's a must read for you and your spouse, because it's going to get you to the next level a lot faster than some of us got there. Okay. I want to thank you guys so much for doing this interview with me. I love everything you're doing on Facebook. Love your book. And I can't wait to continue this conversation, because it's not just this one time. We're starting a movement for young Black and married people, and I love that. Okay. So you guys, I have a question, not for you, but for the audience. What is preventing you from creating a vision? What is preventing you from creating a vision and making it reality? What is that one barrier that's stopping you from having that happy, extraordinary, long-lasting marriage? Figure out what that one thing is and how you can block it. How you can not block it, but how you can knock that wall down and have that life and the love that you truly want. All right? Thank you, guys.